Well, actually, modern society means that we might be able to transcend the political community the way the anarchists want, but not just yet. And again, that's where the dark star that we orbit is the party, it's the dictatorship of the proletariat. That's what it really is. Because the reason that we don't want the party is that we don't really want the dictatorship of the proletariat.
It is an intimidating concept. I have to
It
agree,
is.
like while I was reading your book, I kept on thinking about the dictatorship of the proletariat, and I have to like say like inside my head I was battling with myself.
We should fear it. We should fear it. In other words, that's what it means for us to be politically serious, meaning the political task is daunting and it is intimidating and it is fearful, but it shouldn't be terrifying. Meaning the left has been killed off because it's terrified of the task. And we should approach the task with an appropriate level of fearfulness, but not be terrified off the task.
Well, I'm thinking here about the beginning of the phenomenology where Hegel says the fear of failure is the fear of truth itself.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's kind of like what we're that's like a part of the dark star here, and in the context of the dictatorship of the proletariat, certainly something that certainly something that evokes fear, and at the same time this idea of the Christian axiom of the fearless fall,
Yeah.
that one should have no fear in regards to this fall. And then I was also thinking about in regards to the way you're thinking about history, saying,
Hmm.
not I was thinking, almost an expanded notion of the death of the millennial left, in the sense of the death has been going on since the 1930s.
Yes.
And it's sort of this like more, this expansion with the 1968, and back to the fear of the state and being haunted by that. So I think, all to say, there's a lot to think here, and there's a big challenge here, and there's a fear we're going into here.
That's right. So what I was watching this morning before I got on with you was Curtis Yarvin was interviewed by a journalist at the New York Times. And, Curtis Yarvin was just, very straightforward. We shouldn't be afraid to question our assumptions about democracy. And the New York Times guy was like, oh, well, no, this is, beyond the pale. And so was really terrified. And, I think that, because Yarvin thinks that he's like a monarchist or something. So what occurred to me yet again, this is another theme that I raise in the book, is that if we fail to take up this task, others will. The right will. And so it's not
Is
like it is, right? And so,
is yeah.
it's going to happen. And so the question is it going to happen with the consciousness required to achieve overcoming capitalism? Because of course with Yarvin it won't.